Now, when you started making this film, from the get-go, were you planning to make it a film about your relationship?
No, actually, when I originally approached him with the idea, because sometimes one of us will have an idea, and then the job is to convince the other person it would be a great idea for a film, and even though we want to spend 2 years working on it. When I first approached him with the idea, it was more of a general documentary about polyamory and what it is, and following people who were living this kind of lifestyle of having a group family or more than one love in their life. And we started actually filming with that idea because we didn't think we were terribly interesting. I mean, I don't know if we still were, but we just thought we were, we didn't really see ourselves as characters in the film. And it was actually one of our early cameramen, a friend who's a friend of ours as well, Saul Pincus, who's now an editor actually, but at the time he was doing camera, who said, he was sort of watching us behind the camera, what was going on in our life, and he said, you really should be filming yourself, you're kind of missing part of it. And we decided, well, we'll try to do a little bit of filming with our own life, and if it's not very interesting, no one says we have to use it. And as time went on, it became a larger part of the film, and in fact, it went from being us just maybe narrators at best to, I guess we're probably about half the film by the end of it, because I guess what happened in lives and people we were connected with really quite took over in a way.
I have to tell you that it's incredibly intriguing that your relationship is one where you, being the woman, is the one that wanted more than one partner.
Right.
And your life partner, David, the man, wanting monogamy.
Right, yeah.
And what do you think of that criticism?
I've heard that comment before, that people think it sounds kind of counterintuitive. They imagine that men are the ones who would be, and women would be the ones who wanting monogamy and stability in a relationship, and they, usually cite, raising a family, and that men are kind of more apt to wander or have that instinct.
And that's the stereotype that's constantly promoted, and here you are, you're a real-life couple, and those stereotypical roles are now reversed.
Yes, I can speak about polyamory and just the people I've met, and the founder of a magazine called Loving More, who also is female. Ryan, I know it sounds like it's a male name, but Ryan Nearing is a woman who and her partner at the time, Deborah Annapol, who has since gone on to write books on the subject, Dr. Deborah Annapol, and who are two women who sort of did a lot of organizing in the movement back in the 80s. And I think perhaps women, I think perhaps it's I don't know if it's a stereotype or an image that maybe, as you might say, is maybe not quite accurate. I think a lot of science has gone with the idea, or a lot of, whether it's psychology or biological anthropology, is the idea that as you just said, that men are more oriented towards that. But maybe there's some good biological reasons for men to have more than one partner. And it's a whole fascinating discussion about anthropology, about you can get into why or what is it. But anyway, all I'm going to say is that I don't think I'm that uncommon, but it's definitely it breaks the stereotype for sure.
And the other thing I find very intriguing about your relationship is that, whereas you brought up the whole idea of wanting a more open relationship, your partner David wanted a monogamous one, rather than simply end a relationship, you went ahead and tried to find a way to make your relationship work.
We did, although before we started filming, I should mention there were a couple of times we did break up over it, and we, because it just seemed untenable. It just, Dave thought, well, obviously you're interested in somebody else. This is not working, and I would try to explain how I still loved him, and it didn't sink in for a while. And understandably, that's kind of not the way our model of relationships works in our society. And we did break up a couple of times, and both times decided we're still working together and close friends and still loved each other, and tried again. And it's David's credit, I think, that he was open-minded enough to say, okay, all right, let's see if anybody else is doing this, and let me see if maybe there's some validity to this. And so I credit him for going against the grain of what a lot of people said that even friends would say, "You're crazy. Why would you want to do this?"